to my channel. As always, I am very excited for today's video, and this one is going to be all about how to meal prep, specifically when you are doing it for a family. Now, the reason I'm doing this video is because when I first started watching health and fitness and lifestyle tips on YouTube, I was always given the advice to meal prep, but the issue I found was that these people were living on their own, or they were in a relationship but they kind of mutually agreed on the type of healthy lifestyle they were going to live together. And really, you can't force your eating habits and what you're eating on your entire family. Now, my issue is that I am the one that does cook for my family, and I could easily just be like, oh, you guys get your own stuff, I'll get my own stuff, but I don't want to do that. I don't think that's fair. I'm really trying to help my mother out, so I cook for all of us. So I have found kind of the tips and tricks that work for us so that we can all have the things that we would like. So with all that being said, let's get into the tips. So my first tip is to sit down with your family and talk about how exactly you want to plan out your weekly eating. So for my family, this meant that my sister actually brought up the idea my mom can make one meal a week, just of anything. Like, she chooses one week, I'll choose the next week. We just kind of go back and forth picking which meal we want my mom to make that week. That way, most of the time I will be cooking 2 healthier dinners a week, and then my mom will be making one, and honestly, it's still healthier than if we were to go eat out at a restaurant. So I'm all for that option. But obviously these tips are going to be different for everybody, so just kind of sit with your family and figure out what's going to work for you. Maybe you guys agree upon eating out once a week, or having each member of the household cook one dinner a week, or just something like that. Just figure out how the meal plan will work in your family. Number 2 is to separate the snacks that everybody likes. And specifically, I use this because I am a very bad snacker. Like, if I have one unhealthy thing, like, I always tell myself I'm just gonna have one, but I'm the type of person that if I have one, I need to have like 2 or 3, and it's not good. It's not a good habit of mine at all. So the way I was fixing that, or at least I thought I was fixing that, was just not buying the snacks. If they're not at my house, I'm not going to eat them. The issue with that is if my family wanted it, it wasn't around, and it was causing a little bit of heated arguments between all of us. So I now buy the snacks, and I actually kind of separate them. It's not labeled or anything, but in my head I know, like, the top shelf is my mom's stuff, bottom shelf is my sister's stuff, and my son has a box of his snacks, and I'm not allowed to eat any of their snacks because that is theirs and they want it. And if I don't have one, I'm not going to have another and another. And I do have my own separate snacks. I'm not snacking at all. That's not the point of this. You should still be snacking. It's just on the types of things that you want. And make sure, again, you talk to your family about what they would like to have in the house, just so that, again, they can all be happy. Number 3 is to write out a shopping list. And my shopping list is divided into 3 sections. It is the meals that I'm going to be making for the week, as well as the meal my mom's going to make. Then I have the snacks that I've already discussed with everyone what snacks they want. And then I also have a section for other, and that is just anything that is not food. And then leading into number 4 is planning out the type of meals you're going to have. So for me, I mentioned in my last video that I do low carb and high carb days. So that means that on a normal week, I will make 2 breakfasts, 2 lunches, and I'll make 2 dinners, and my mom will make 1 dinner. And depending on the dinner that my mom's going to make that week will depend on how many low carb and high carb dinners I make. Disclaimer, you do not have to do low carb, high carb. This is just how I eat, but you obviously plan your meals based on how you want to eat and how you and your family have agreed upon eating. I also further separate this list by writing out all the ingredients for every single meal that I am making, as you can see here. So leading into tip number 5 is you want to plan out the days that you're going to eat your meals. Now, I do have a dry erase version of this downstairs, so my whole family kind of knows what we're having that day for dinner, but I really only kind of plan out what days I'm having the dinners, because if it's a high carb dinner, I know I'm having the high carb option of my lunch and breakfast, and if it's a low carb meal, then I know that I'm having the low carb breakfast and lunch. So that's kind of how I plan out, but you can plan it out however you'd like. I also try to make sure, like, if there's a party or something one day, or we're going to an event that generally is going to have more unhealthy food, I'll plan that as my high carb day and alternate the days around that. Like this week, my older sister's coming back from college, so she requested that Wednesday we're going to have cheesesteaks. So that's my mom's meal that she's making that week, and I know that Wednesday is going to be that higher carb meal. So I know that Tuesday and Thursday are going to be lower carbs, and I plan the week based off of that, and that's how I schedule out my meals for the week. Again, you do not have to do low carb, high carb. You just plan the meals so that you can have a visual of what you'll be eating that week. Number 6 is to separate ingredients that not everybody enjoys. So a lot of times I will make some type of salad for lunch, and I will have all the ingredients kind of separated. That way, when I'm making it for my family, I can add chicken into their salads so that certain things that I'm not going to eat that they like, they're not going to be deprived of it. And that will make life much simpler. It seems harder in a sense because, like, you have to separate everybody's stuff instead of just mixing it all together. But it's really, again, not that hard. It just takes a little bit of effort. And number 7, my biggest takeaway from this video is to just discuss with your family. Just talk about how you guys are all going to be happy, and again, not fight over something as little as food. And I feel like that is actually a big issue if people talk about. You can't agree on the types of foods you want to eat. Just talk to each other about it and figure out a way to plan out how you can make it work, because if you try and you put forth effort, you can make any type of meal prep work for your family. So I did also want to pop on here really quick and say that after I'm done making my list of foods and the ingredients, then I go through all of our cabinets to see what we have and what we need, whether that be snacks that my family didn't remember that we need that week, or any ingredients that we already have that I don't need to get at the store. So I am then able to make out my finalized shopping list of everything that we will actually need to be getting that week. And then I separate it into produce, dairy, meat, frozen, and other. So I hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you are not subscribed to this channel, I would love for you to do so and hit the notification bell so that you can be informed when I upload my next one. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, and share with your friends. And with all that being said, I'm gonna go, but before I do, I want to remind you all to stay positive, be active, and most importantly, do what keeps you healthy.